Have you ever had to keep a really big secret? What if that secret could save someone's life, or even save a whole nation? Today, we're going to hear the story of a brave queen, a faithful cousin, and a wicked man with a very bad plan. Get ready, because God was working behind the scenes with a secret plan of his own. A long time ago, in a big kingdom called Persia, there was a kind girl named Esther. She wasn't a queen yet, just an ordinary girl. Her cousin, Mordecai, took care of her like a daughter because her parents had died. One day, the king of Persia needed a new queen. Out of all the girls in the land, he chose Esther. She was beautiful, yes, but also kind and wise. No one knew she was Jewish because Mordecai told her to keep it a secret. God had a special reason for that. Mordecai worked near the palace gates. He loved God and always did what was right. But not everyone did. There was a man named Haman. He was rich, proud, and powerful. The king made him very important, so important that everyone had to bow down to him. But Mordecai wouldn't bow. Why? Because Mordecai obeyed God, and God says we should only worship him. Haman got angry, so angry that he made a terrible plan. He didn't just want to hurt Mordecai. He wanted to destroy all the Jewish people in the land. When Mordecai found out about the plan, he was so upset. He sent a message to Queen Esther. "You have to go to the king. You have to help us." But Esther was scared. In Persia, no one could just walk up to the king, not even the queen. If she went without being invited, she could be punished, even killed. Mordecai told her something very important. He said, "Maybe God made you queen for such a time as this." Esther thought about it. She prayed. Then she said, "Tell everyone to fast and pray with me for 3 days. I will go to the king, and if I die, I die." Esther was scared, but she chose to obey God. She was brave. Do you remember Jonah? He tried to run away from God's plan, and he ended up in a big fish. Esther didn't run. She stood strong. That's what makes her a true hero. After 3 days, Esther put on her royal robes and went to see the king. He looked at her and smiled. He reached out his golden scepter. That meant she was safe. But Esther didn't tell him the secret right away. She invited the king and Haman to a fancy banquet. At the banquet, the king asked, "What do you want, Esther? I'll give you anything." Esther smiled and said, "Please come to another banquet tomorrow. I'll tell you then." The next day, at the second banquet, Esther looked at the king and said, "There is someone who wants to destroy me and my people." The king was shocked. "Who would do such a thing?" he asked. Esther pointed to Haman. "It's him." The king was furious. He ordered that Haman be punished. His evil plan was destroyed. Mordecai was honored and given a high position in the kingdom, and the Jewish people were saved. God used Esther and Mordecai to rescue his people, not because they were the strongest or the most powerful, but because they were obedient. Esther obeyed, even when it was scary. Mordecai obeyed, even when it was dangerous. And God gave them victory. What about you? Will you obey God when it's hard? Will you trust him, even when you're afraid? God has a plan for you too. That's why it's so important to read the Bible every day. You'll learn about God's love, his truth, and the amazing plans he has for your life. If you liked this story, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, Bible for Little Kids, and share this video with your friends. Let's help everyone learn how amazing God's Word is. See you in the next adventure, and remember, God's plan is always the best.